Hello and welcome to the Halo Forge epidemic. This is Oakley HiDef and I'm here to bring you a new Forge tips and tricks tutorial, and this one is on making sort of a UNSC base, and I'll cover a variety of different things that you can build in terms of how you go about setting up your structures, and then a bunch of different sort of theme buildings. So I guess the first thing you're going to do when you're building your base is go ahead and choose a location. So obviously on Forge World you don't have that many locations, but what you want to do for your base is nestle it in along the walls or something like that, so it looks like it's a natural place where you would want to defend. So obviously if you're going to have a base, you want it nestled against the cliffs, and then the rest you would wall off. So I guess the first thing would be your outer defenses. Over here I have wall coliseums and a sort of a brace large tower built up here, and obviously to go with this you're going to have an entrance. So the way I did this here, which looks kind of cool, it's pretty imposing, is I left a gap between the wall coliseums obviously, and then railing larges over the top to make it seem like it would close. Over here you put brace larges sticking up and down, and then what you do is you put cover pieces right here which serve as sort of massive hinges, making sure to leave a gap at the bottom. And so presumably what that would do is allow these doors to close, and the whole thing would sort of lock the base up. So it's a cool way to show that this base can be locked up, but that for the moment it has been opened up, and it makes a nice choke point if you're playing sort of a map that requires you want the attackers to be funneled, but obviously you don't want it to be too funneled. So what you're going to do is make multiple entrances, and another way you can do that is by having a destroyed wall. So we have a tutorial on destroyed walls, go ahead and check that out. Otherwise you go ahead and take a look at this stuff here, which is essentially where you have a bunch of debris scattered around. The wall coliseums are put at an angle that you can see here, and then you want to go ahead and put a bunch of block 2x1s on the bottom on the ground, and then if you want to put even more debris, or to allow sort of a ramp so you can move up steadily, what I can do is actually spawn a rock. So we'll go into the natural and rock arch. Usually what you'll want to do is maybe use this side because it's flat, so go ahead and tilt it to the degrees you want, and then go ahead and sort of slide it into place. Something like that would be good, so that it leaves a bit of the debris, but it allows players on foot to not have to jump over everything all the time. You can kind of walk your way up. So that might be something you do just for gameplay, and also for looks as well. It kind of looks like it's collapsed, and maybe if it's more for aesthetics you would lower this a bit more. But either way, rocks are a good way to put rubble. Now as we're going around for the base, for building a base, what you're going to need is flat ground essentially. So usually building here is good, but in this case I decided not to do that because this would be too easy. And there's only two spots on Forge World that are really like flattened and evened out, and that was built for the map that takes place here in default. You know, the Bungie made maps. So what you want to do is make your own flat ground, and what you're going to do is what I call terracing, which is usually pretty good, pretty easily. So stick a bunch of wall coliseums at different levels, and what you would do is if it's on a hill like this, put a wall coliseum, and then put another one at an incline coming down. Then maybe you would put staircases or ramps that allow you to move up. But by doing terracing, it looks like it's actually a base. Then what you can do is then start placing structures on top of it, because if you have structures just placed on a hill, it doesn't really seem like it has a strong base, a strong support to whatever you're building, so you're going to want more stuff. Over here, obviously you can add some AA guns to sort of add to the defenses. Right here, just platform extra larges with just platform extra larges on top. That's kind of a standard UNSC thing. No one really knows what it is, but it does look cool. Over here is something kind of that you might have seen. It kind of looks like out of Star Wars, Hoth, I believe, where they had the shield generator. So put a wall coliseum, platform extra large here, platform extra large here, then ramp circular small on the other side, and then stick a bunch of these the dishes next to each other with spacing in between. That looks cool. Over here, wall coliseums with the roof kind of sticking out here, so it makes this junction, which looks nice, and then a bunch of walkway larges on the top. And what I was going to say earlier is a nice thing with the terracing is you can leave distances between levels, and then when that happens is you can basically go ahead and put brace larges to make the outside, and that'll allow you to make walls that go through various levels. But then what you can do is once you're inside the level is go ahead and put walls, and that way you make walls out of blocks, and that way you make pretty much your own room. And sometimes you'll run into rooms that you didn't even intend to build. So right here, for example, I just wanted to even that out, and I found there was enough space, so I decided to turn it into a room. And this is pretty cool because maybe this is kind of a guard station to watch the gate. You can sit here and look out the window and shoot at the wall or shoot around the base. So that's kind of cool. And over here is another one. So this might be pretty cool for gameplay where the lowest level can watch and shoot out. And over here you go out of cover and then you go back into cover. So that's something cool. Always make the best of what you're dealt. If you find a little sort of crack, like maybe under here if there's a little more space, I would turn this into sort of, another room or maybe a cellar or something like that. So always go ahead and use everything to its advantage, and that way you'll find that you actually use your objects, you put them to better use, and it'll push your creativity a bit more, and that's when you get the best results. Here, something that looks like a power station, or maybe it's silos that hold something. Maybe these would open up and launch missiles, I don't know. But basically, wall coliseum to hold the top, on the sides, and then you put bank pieces to finish off the corners. Then up on top, platform extra large is here, and then you want to overlap 2 of the circular ramp smalls just like this, so it makes like a cross shape there, and that looks kind of cool from a distance and from the side. It looks really sick. It almost looks like these would be ventilation towers, something like that. So and they take up a lot of space, which is sometimes good if you're just trying to bulk up your base. Then go ahead and add pipelines as you see here, and then pieces coming across connecting to other big areas like this. That's all fine and dandy, it's all cool. It makes for a cool base, but after a while maybe it gets repetitive. So what you might want to do is make some epic architecture. So would be basically this thing here. And so what I've done is I've basically made a platform extra large, at the bottom. Platform walkway large is here to sort of straddle and support each side. And then going up, I've stacked a bunch of these ramp circular smalls, and then platform extra large is here where the gap is. And so what that does, it looks like some sort of comms tower, or maybe it's some sort of space elevator, from Halo 3. You could actually have part of it kind of collapse on the rest of the map, so maybe that's a theme you're going for. But it's something reminiscent of what the Forerunner design is back there, where it would send signals. Maybe this is a big radio tower. And this is something that can be seen from around the map that would kind of tie it together, that would make it stand out. So that's something you want to keep in mind when you're making your maps, is make sure you stand out. So for this tower, for example, I divided into sections where it was 3 tall, left a gap, 3 tall, left a gap. And then as I went further up, I took into account that you won't be seeing this from the bottom, so this is actually empty. And then further at the top, I made the gaps smaller and smaller. So that just adds different layering, different coloring, and makes the whole thing look different. Yeah, there you go, thing shooting in the background. But basically what I'm trying to say is, instead of having repetitive lines here, here, here the whole way up, at the top I sort of capped it off with a different coloring by changing the spacing up. So that's something you want to do, is keep pieces from being monotonous. Even though we're only given basic gray pieces here, there's a lot you can do with it, with the dark shadows and stuff like that. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like this video, that way we know you guys are happy fans. Go ahead and post in the comments what kind of stuff you like us to do. And guys, please go ahead and check us out on Facebook. We have a profile there, THFE. We're trying to build that as much as possible, as I've said in the past. So just getting you guys to go out there, getting you to like the channel. We really enjoy it. We love getting engaged with the Halo community. I mean, that's what we're here for, is to sort of be the YouTube group that represents the Halo community. So the more you guys interface with us, the more we can actually represent you. So go ahead and check out the Facebook page, chat with us. We'll have different admins there. And go ahead and post your comments there. We really want to bring you guys in as much as possible. So thanks, guys. This has been Oakley HiDef with the Halo Forge Epidemic, and I'm signing out. Thank you.